Hi, everyone. So I'm going to just take a few minutes here to remind you what you need to do for the final exam essay. Go ahead and take a look at it here. Okay. If you are here at the final exam essay, this means you have successfully completed the final exam essay outline for week 9. This also means you have decided which writing assignment paragraph you would like to turn into a full essay, and you now have a plan of attack for that essay. It is now time to write that essay. You can and should use your outline from week 9 assignment 1 to assist you as you type the essay. That's the whole point in doing it. All right. Don't forget to use the spell check tool. It's the little check mark with the A above it. That's in the text box where you're typing the essay. Just a little thing I like to remind students about. They sometimes forget that it's there, that they can use it. Don't forget that the final exam essay is a text submission. So you're going to be typing the essay into a text box. If you typed your essay ahead of time, like in a Word document or a Google Doc or an Open Doc or what have you, if you pre-typed your essay and you're going to copy it and paste it into the text box, please be sure to check and make sure that your paragraphs are still, separated from each other. Sometimes when students try to copy and paste their document, it's 5 paragraphs. Something happens though when they copy and paste it in the text box, it's just one big, huge paragraph. And that will cause you to receive a failing grade on the final exam essay because part of 50% of your grade is on organization. So you want to make sure that you still have distinct paragraphs if you've copied and pasted, okay? If you are manually typing into the text box in the moment, make sure that you have paragraphs, okay? Use the outline to help guide you as to where you begin and end new paragraphs, right? But it's a very important thing to be aware of because I think especially since we do so much journal writing and every week, and there's no rules to that. When students go to type in a text box for the assignment, in an assignment, they can sometimes revert back to that experience, that sort of like just autopilot of typing a journal. But this is a formal essay. Yes, it's being typed into the text submission box, but it's still a formal essay. You have to make sure that it looks like a formal essay. Okay. Remember, you're going to need an introductory paragraph that grabs your reader's attention, leads us into the topic and ends with a thesis statement. That thesis statement should be one single sentence that tells us what the focused topic is and what your main points are going to be. You need focused body paragraphs. Those body paragraphs should have transitional topic sentences. If you received full points on your outline, you should already have those transitional topic sentences. Make sure that each paragraph is relevant, that you have fully developed it, provided specific and adequate support. Make sure that you have a concluding paragraph that reminds the reader of the topic and the main points and leaves us with a final thought. Make sure that you are using appropriate voice tone and word choice. This isn't supposed to be a super formal, stuffy, high academic essay, but it is a college level essay. So while you can be conversational in a lot of ways, you still have to be appropriate with the right amount of formality. Make sure that you have as few grammar and mechanics errors as possible. All right, think back to all the lessons that we went over in week 3. Be especially cognizant of sentence fragments and run-on sentences and comma splices, for sure. But also try to remember, we don't want to use clutter words. We don't want to use cliches. We want to check that our modifiers aren't in the wrong spot or that we don't have dangling modifiers. We want to try to combine our thoughts into longer, complex sentences. We don't want a bunch of short, choppy sentences. At the same time, you don't want to go to the other extreme and have a sentence that takes up 5 lines on the screen. Even if it's grammatically correct, that's still quite a lot. So you want to find that happy balance between, not having short, choppy sentences, but not having super long sentences either. All right. This is going to be graded using a rubric, and I'm going to actually show that to you right now. Right. So you can see all those things I just pointed out to you, all of those reminders. You can see where they show up on this rubric. So the first grading category is content and conventions. This is worth 25% of the grade on the essay. So that your introduction has a strong, clear thesis statement. The thesis statement includes main points of discussion. Writing demonstrates an in-depth reflection of the selected topic. Information clearly relates to the main topic and includes several supporting details and examples. That's 25% of your grade, is making sure that you have a good thesis statement and that you have fully supported each of your main points. 50% of the grade is coming from organization, right? So your introduction, does it have a strong grabber? Does the length of the whole essay, is it appropriate? Does it flow smoothly from one idea to the next? Is it well structured? Are the paragraphs placed appropriately? What I mean by that is like a logical progression of your main points. Do you have clear topic sentences and smooth transitions between paragraphs and ideas? The final sentences clinch the piece well, leaving the reader completely satisfied. So that's, this is really more about your thesis statement and your support up here in content and conventions. Organization is more, did you have an effective introductory paragraph? Do you have effective body paragraphs? Do you have an effective concluding paragraph? Then we have language and style. This is worth 10%. So this is where, your voice is coming through. You're using, sophisticated word choices, varied language. This is where we're not using clutter words. We're not using cliches. We're not using slang. We're not using text abbreviations, and that you have a variety of sentence structure, right? So it's not all short, choppy sentences. It's not all long sentences. You have a variety. Grammar and mechanics, right? Your verb tenses have to stay consistent throughout, and you need to show that you've proofread and that you have minimal errors in the essay, right? Especially looking at sentence fragments, run-ons and comma splices, misplaced and dangling modifiers. Again, those are from week 3, right? So that is what you need to keep in mind if you want to score as high as possible on this essay. Because you can see, content conventions, you have to check off all of these in this column to get those points, to get 25 points for this category. You might lose a few points if something's not quite right. You'll lose more if it needs, some improvement. You'll lose a lot more if it needs significant improvement. You can kind of see how the levels progress to lower points, right? Same here for the organization. So you don't need to do anything with this rubric. It's here under the week 10 module. You can see over here. It is there just for your information, just so you know how you'll be graded and what is most important about this essay. And what is most important about this essay is that you show me you know what a college level essay requires. Introductory paragraph with thesis statement. Well-supported body paragraphs that begin with transitional topic sentences that contain specific and adequate support for that main point, and that have a point sentence at the end that wraps up that paragraph. That you've arranged your paragraphs in a logical manner. That you have a concluding paragraph that signals the end of the essay, reminds us of your topic and main points, and leaves us with some kind of final thought. And that you understand the need for an appropriate tone of voice, varied sentence structure, thoughtful word choices, and few grammar and mechanics errors. That's what you're showing me. Okay. All right. So go back here to the essay. Those were all of your reminders right there, right? Remember to include the following in your essay. All of this right here relates to that rubric we just looked at, okay? And then down here, it's just another reminder to make sure that, that you have clear paragraphs. If you turn in one single big paragraph, you will get a 0 because that's not an essay. I will be sort of glancing at the final exam essays as they get submitted throughout the week. And if I happen to see that you have made some big mistakes, I will reach out to you and, hopefully there'll be time for you to resubmit it, but that's not something that either of us can guarantee. I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to see your specific essay ahead of time. You're not going to be able to guarantee that you have time to redo it. So the stronger it is the first time around, the easier you can breathe and the better off, your grade will end up being. Okay. If you run into any problems, reach out right away. Otherwise, use that outline, use my feedback on the outline, and I'm confident that everyone will do well on this.